Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In this video I'd like to look at a great, what we call Holy Grail trade setup on the Australian dollar, US dollar on a 5-minute chart. It's this automatic TS3 buy setup here. If we look at the chart, you can see that it's a standard, an automatic buy setup for standard MTPredictor users, because if I put the cursor on the bar there, you can see that the STF is black. Therefore any MTPredictor customer could take this, even new MTPredictor customers. If I right mouse click and do analyze, you can see the market came up to the first target here and hit the first target pretty quickly for a 2-hour profit. Now this actually hit the target on virtually the next bar, so it was really quick. So therefore the STF didn't have a chance to get to the first or the strength band here, so it didn't give you a chance to actually run the trade any further. However, this is where additional knowledge comes in, as more experienced MTPredictor users will know. And for this we go to the 15-minute chart. So I'll just clear that all off, and if I go to the 15-minute chart, if we go back to even before that low, that's where that TS3 buy setup came in. If we go back to before that, and I have a look at, let's just zoom out a bit, we had a low here. Now if I put the DP off this low, can you see how the Australian dollar came down into this level here and found support? If I scroll forward, you can see how the market went up beautifully. It found support at this 15-minute decision point. In other words, on the 15-minute chart, the larger degree chart that is, we were finding support. Market rallied up, came back down. If I scroll forward, you can see now if I put the Elliott waves on here, you can see this is found as a potential wave 2. Now what that means is this is a major low. Initial move off a major low is a wave 1. Initial correction is a wave 2. If I move forward a bit further, market rallies up to here. If I put the Elliott waves on here now, you can see that, actually I'll just clear the Elliott waves off actually, so you've only got one set on. If I put the Elliott waves on here now, you can see what unfolded, which was a strong wave 3. So this is a great example of what we call the Holy Grail trade setup, in where we are looking for, first and foremost, a major support. And what we mean by that and how we define that is we go to the larger degree time frame chart, and we actually have, in this case, a larger degree 15-minute DP support. Market moves up, makes a wave 1. The initial move off that, or the initial correction off that initial move, will be wave 2, with an anticipating a strong wave 3 type rally. But what's special about this wave 2? Well, if we go down to the 5-minute chart, in Elliott wave terms, the wave 2, which is what we've got here, because remember that this was our 15-minute support, as you can see it's on our chart here. This is our initial move up, which is wave 1. This is our initial correction down here, which is wave 2. Then we have the strong wave 3 up. But what's unique about wave 2s in Elliott wave terms is the most common pattern within a wave 2 is an ABC correction, which is what we've got here. A, B, C. Now that then means it's identified in MTPredictor automatically as a TS3 automatic buy setup. So when we put the analysis on, we can see this. There's your A, B, C. So now we know that this TS3 buy setup is not just any old TS3 buy setup, it's a TS3 buy setup in a wave 2. So therefore we are anticipating a strong wave 3. That's why we don't look to come out at our first target, which is our minimum wave C WPT here. We go to our third target, which as you can see is our typical wave 3 WPT here. So I'll just take the risk reward up to that level. So in other words, we're not aiming for a potential 2-hour profit like we saw right at the start of the video. We're actually aiming for a well, in this case a 5.8-hour profit, which is what you would have got as the market reached the typical wave 3 WPT here. We can also look at the STF strength band again once the market gets to this typical wave 3 WPT, which it did here. So if we go down to the strength band, you can see that the STF is way beyond the strength band here. So this would classify this move as strong. Therefore we swap to our ATR stop to let it run a bit further. In other words, this trade would have been stopped out at about here. In other words, a lovely 6.7-hour profit. And that's why the Holy Grail trade setup is my favorite trade setup, and is why MTPredictor was invented in the first place, and I believe is the best trade setup in the book, because it allows you to get in on a wave 2 correction, which allows you to enter the market with a small controlled risk. Remember, we use our position sizing to keep our initial risk small and under control. It then allows you to get into what is the strongest and longest move in any completed Elliott wave sequence, which is the wave 3, so it has the largest profit potential. So this trade is absolutely brilliant because you have the smallest initial risk for the largest potential profit. So, you know, it's the ideal trade setup for any trader. That's why we love these here at MTPredictor, and why I go into such a great effort to show you these unfolding on, with the software. And again, they're very easy to uncover, and we went through the steps in this video. Just to review the steps, first we must identify a larger degree support or resistance area. For this, we went out to the larger degree chart, and we had support around here on our 15-minute, in other words larger degree DP zone. We then look for the initial move off that support. We then look for the initial correction, that initial correction to unfold as an ABC. We then look for our automatic trade setups in and around that area. We then manage the trade as if it's a typical wave 3 WPT. In other words, we go for the third target, not the first, and then manage it accordingly. Position sizing takes account of the number of lots or contracts or shares, but lots in this case because it's a Forex chart, and as you can see, the result was a very, very nice plus 6.7R profit, or in other words, a profit of approximately $2,600, all for an initial risk of 396. In other words, a large profit in relation to a small initial risk. And I think these are the best trade setups that are available in today's markets.